skin of their teeth. Bombers come away with a victory tonight, 30-27 in front of a 10th straight sellout at the Madhouse on Matheson. What's going on, everybody? Welcome inside Game Day After Dark, your Blue Bombers postgame show, live here on Bonfire Sports, as we always do. Great to see everybody in the live chat. Live chat is lit. Bonfire's lit. See it right there? Schnitzy's going to join us in just a few minutes. He's making his way back from Princess Auto Stadium as we speak. But hey, Phyllis, good to see you. Good to see everybody in the live chat. We're going to get into it all. There's lots to get into, including some incredibly frustrating moments for Bombers Nation. Puzzling decision-making, frankly, from both head coaches in this game. But in the end, the Blue Bombers come away with a victory. They move above 500 for the first time this season. Am I wrong in saying that? Yeah, I'm wrong in saying that. First time since they were 3-1. Yeah. 5-4 has them in second place in the West Division. And they will play Montreal next week, and then head to Regina to take on the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Of course, the Riders play the Ticats this week. That's your CFL game of the week. No question about that. But we'll get into all of that and more here on Game Day After Dark. Big shout out to the Silver Heights restaurant, who just signed on hours ago to sponsor the show. More information on them, but be sure to check them out. Silver Heights Restaurant. You can find them on Instagram. You can find them on Facebook, right in the heart of sunny St. James. Best ribs in town. And they're also Winnipeg's oldest sports bar. Go to the Heights. Say hi to Tony, JC, and the outstanding staff there. Great people. Just like D-Mac here, Derek McGoran. I'm going to see you with the 1930 crew. I hope so. I've maybe had a cold one or two with Derek at the Heights, but head to the Heights and you tell them Bonfire sent you. Ryan Friesen says he's got the best ribs in town. I will put them head to head against the Silver Heights restaurant ribs. I will. Blue and Goldens. I love that handle. Watching live on YouTube. What's going on, Blue and Goldens? Though some of those decisions, the Blue Bombers had the lead, led by 7, with 1 minute, 15 seconds remaining. Okay. And they are on, I'm just pulling up the highlight here because, hey, this is what we do on Game Day After Dark. You can't find highlights after the game like you can on TSN, of course, and big ups to TSN. It's where we get all of our highlights, but fair use, fair dealing. We will use them with credit given, of course. But you're not going to get highlights like this where we go over the fine details of the game and then, of course, answer your questions, voice your concerns in the live chat. That's what the bonfire is all about. Grab a cold one, grab a warm one, and grab a spot around the bonfire and join us here. Yeah, Sandy wants to talk about the reffing. What's going on, Sandy? Good to see you. I'll see you at the Prairie Rivalry Bash coming up at Finn's. This is quite a hot take from Finchy Rocco. Time to move on from Mike O'Shea and Jason Hogan, the head coach and the offensive coordinator. O'Shea has lost this team. No mojo. I won't go that far. Nope. Oh, Theo, I used to work with you at Bell Radio and TSN days. Can you give tackling lessons? Yeah, I could. Maybe you can go watch the Winnipeg Rifles. I will be there calling their games this year. They just had a huge win, but the Bombers came away with a win tonight. So overall, it's like, name your silver linings, however you want to call it. But with a minute 15 left, the Blue Bombers decide to kick a 57-yard field goal. Okay. A minute 15 left. Streveler stuffed on 2nd and 3. Was it 2nd and 3? It was. Picks up 1 yard, and they're at the Ottawa 50, okay? If you punt the ball, you can pin the RedBlacks deep in their own territory with less than a minute left. And a lot of people will say, well, why not just kick the field goal? You kick it, you're up 2 scores, game over. And if you miss it, well, you can cover like you do on a punt. Not so fast. When you see Sergio Castillo roll out for a field goal, and I'll pull up this one here, okay? This was not the field goal that I'm talking about. This was the game-winning field goal, the walk-off to capture the win tonight. But I'm going to pause it, okay? If you look closely, you got O-lineman, you got the long snapper Ian LaRue, you got O-lineman, okay? These are all big dudes. These are not the guys that are on your punt cover team. Your punt cover team is full of guys. Here, I'll let this roll. 1 second left. Walk-off field goal. Serge nails it for the win. Those flags, of course, on the RedBlacks. Winnipeg declined. Game over. But your field goal team is full of offensive linemen. Your punt team is full of dudes who are running downfield 1,000 miles an hour, built to tackle. They're tackling machines. That's what your kick cover team is. That's what your punt cover team is. And I sure hope I don't hear Mike O'Shea defend that decision in his postgame, which Zeno will send and we will watch here moments after it happens live in Winnipeg, postgame tonight. Yeah, D-Mac, you got it right, man. The big linemen don't cover like a punt. They don't. I sure hope he doesn't try to defend this by saying we should cover that. Enoch Mwamba knows a little thing or two about football. On the CFL on TSN panel tonight, post-game, stated it plain as day. And I think anybody who knows football knows this. Your field goal team against a field goal block team or a field goal return team, that's the worst matchup in football. It's the worst matchup because that field goal unit is built to block. They are built to block at the point that you can't give up a yard or two because your kick's going to get blocked. You got to remember too, this is not a punt. This is a field goal where you got to kick it off the ground and it's at a low trajectory. Justin Medlock, like most kickers kick it 7 yards back from the snap, from the line of scrimmage. Justin Medlock would do 8 yards back. That's what he asked his guys to do so he could kick it at that low trajectory. Just a little bit of a safer move from 8 yards. But all of that is just leading for us to know and to say a very questionable decision that nearly cost the Blue Bombers the game tonight. Nearly cost the Blue Bombers the game tonight because this is what happened. Khalil Pimpleton went house. Here's Streveler on, here I'll back it up. Streveler on 2nd and 3, the Ottawa 50, stuffed. And I know there's a lot of people out there, you're already in the live chat talking about, I saw Pat Rathwell looking forward to the 1930 crew, my man, 1930 crew, the 1930crew.com. You can find the 1930 crew on all of the social medias as well. And just a couple seats left on the Bonfire bus, the Huss bus, WST. You want to join us in Regina for Labor Day. We'll talk a little more about that later too. But Pat Rathwell also talking about giving Terry Wilson a chance. Misses from 57. Giving Pat Rathwell saying give Terry Wilson a chance in the short yardage. We will talk about that. But there's Khalil Pimpleton going house. Where's the coverage? Where are the tacklers? Well, let's go back. Let's take a look. Who's on the field? Okay, we got Tui Ellie. We got Colin Cornelson, 96, D lineman. There's Jamison Sheehan, the punter. He was holding for the field goal. There's Devin Adams, defensive tackle. Here's Ian LaRue, the long snapper. Here is, I believe this is right tackle Kendall Randolph. Had some penalty problems tonight. There's Jake Thomas, D tackle. There's Shane Gauthier, middle linebacker. And there's Serge. Nobody expecting him to catch Khalil Pimpleton. Touchdown. Tie ball game with a minute left. I mean, I almost can't keep up with the live chat. Here is the godfather of the 1930 crew, Jeffrey Bannon, Pat Rathwell, Tara Maslowski. Did I lose that comment? Where'd it go? There it is. DB, says Jeffrey Bannon. What's going on, Jeff? No biscuit if you don't risk it. Kick the field goal. He's a stud. You're leading by 7. How would you feel if you were a member of the Blue Bombers defense? How would you feel tonight? Because I don't think I'm going out on a limb saying that's a lack of trust. And Dru Brown got injured in this game. He was incredible. Dru Brown's legit. I mean, for all you Bonfire OGs, you know we've been talking about Dru Brown for a long, long time. But if you were a member of the Blue Bombers defense, how would you feel tonight? You should punt the ball and you should put your defense on the field to win the game. Oof. Yeah. My man Fritchie calls it. Willie J and the defense not happy. Another Fritchie, but this one Rick. Stop the insanity with Strevler. I mean, we could go on and on. Yeah, there you go. Mike O'Shea on CGOB saying they should be able to cover the missed field goal. They should, but you don't need to kick it in that situation. You don't need to kick it in that situation. This game had a little bit of everything. I mean, I want to talk about the pass interference penalties. Oof, it's a couple. But let's take a look at Dru Brown. There's midway through the third quarter, Winnipeg leading by 17 and putting together a ridiculous drive to start the second half. Ate up more than half of the third quarter. But there's Dru Brown channeling his inner Zach Collaros with the backhanded flick. Insane. Insane play. And unfortunately, this play was also the one Dru Brown got injured, did not return, grabbed his knee, got checked out, stayed on the bench, stayed on the sidelines, walked around, but helmet nowhere to be found, and his night was done. Just incredible athleticism from Dru Brown, the way he's able to escape the pressure from Kyrie Wilson and then Willie Jefferson. I'm not putting it on either of those defenders. That's just a slippery quarterback. Then being able to get it to William Stanback to get it down to the goal line or near the goal line. But in came Dustin Crum. And I mean, Crum did enough, that's for sure. If we take a look at the numbers, and there's Dru Brown grabbing his left knee there. Real tough to see that. Dru Brown, one of my favorite people in the CFL. Very impressed with him in his time in Winnipeg when I got to speak to him, be around him a little bit. But there's Dru Brown's numbers. They weren't sterling, but he played 2.5 quarters. 57%. I thought Winnipeg's defense, outside of a play or two, did a great job keeping receivers in front of them. Outside of a couple, they did a very good job of that. And until it was Dustin Crum time, was it going to be another Crum back? Schnitzy coined that term. Oh yes, he did. Randall mentioning poor play calling in the last minute. Stephen Ayers says attitude and effort. Man. Trade for a good backup, says Chris King. Is that my old pal, Chris King? Son of Bob King? Children's entertainer? If it is, good to see you, Kinger. Thanks for joining us here. So Crum, I mean, in a quarter and a half, 20 minutes of football, went 65% for 125 yards and a touchdown. Didn't turn the ball over. He was very good. William Stanback, I mean, great average. Looking now at Winnipeg's numbers. I know we will talk about Zach Collaros. People will want to talk about Zach Collaros and that interception late. People will want to talk about it, and rightfully so. But there's Collaros, 300 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Oliveira, 10 carries for 35 yards. Not super effective on the ground. He did have a couple nice runs, though. Yeah, I wanted to show this one. Brady's running numbers didn't knock anyone's socks off, but take a look at this. This is what Brady Oliveira is capable of. He had 10 carries tonight and 5 catches. This is what Brady Oliveira is capable of. He is a hell of a good football player, man. And I just don't feel like he is being utilized enough. And I'm not hanging that on play calling. I'm hanging that on offensive line play. Because often people will say, just give Brady the ball. This is on Jason Hogan. Maybe, but not necessarily. If you're an OC, if you're a head coach and you don't have faith, true, deep-seated confidence in your O-line, in the CFL, you're going to throw the ball more often. You're going to throw the ball more often. Yeah, Weedfall made some nice plays. He did. Took a smack in early in the game. That was nuts, but hung on to the ball. I'll probably pull that up a little bit later when Schnitzy and I get into Walby's Warrior. Westwood wide to the right. What's your bonfire burning point tonight? I love asking people that in the live chat. Live chat's lit. Great to see. You know, we got nearly 400 people watching live right now. Wherever you're watching, or if you're listening to the podcast afterwards, head over to YouTube. It's easy to find our YouTube page, okay? Bonfire Winnipeg. But this is the easiest way. You can go bonfiresports.ca/live. That takes you to the live section of Bonfire's YouTube page. And there you'll see the pregame and the postgame. But then you can also click on shorts and you can watch clips that we have up there. Lots of good stuff. But that's where you need to be. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't yet. We all appreciate that. Don't want to get lost in the live chat, but easy to tonight because it's absolutely lit. Great to see everybody in there. Here is Winnipeg. Here, I'll pull this back. This is with after the Pimpleton 117-yard missed field goal touchdown. Here's Collaros, 1st and 10, takes a deep shot, has 𝘎𝙥𝙤𝙧𝙯, and this is intercepted by RedBlacks DB King Ambers. And it evened the turnover battle at that point at 2 apiece. Winnipeg has a CFL worst turnover ratio. I don't absolutely hate this play, but it's ballsy. It's a lot less ballsy to just punt the football with a 7-point lead. Lean on your defense. But they chose to get ballsy there. Fritchie 101. 𝘎𝙥𝙬𝙧 carrying a lot of water for this team. He is. Lunch pail, hard hat, no doubt. 𝘎𝙎𝙬𝙧𝙯 tonight, as we look at the receiving numbers, finished with a team high 128 yards, 6 catches on 9 targets, had 3 second down conversions. Talk about carrying water for the team. Man, absolutely insane. I like this from Tico Napoli. You could say pimple popped on that missed field goal. LOL. Yeah, that's true. What's up, Pyros? Great to see you, Paulie, in the live chat. Sandy, how kind. Thank you so much, Sandy. Bonfire OG, one of my favorite people. You guys are awesome. Thanks for doing this after every game. You got it. You got it, Sandy. Our pleasure. Schnitzy will join us momentarily. Actually, I just got a text from Schnitzy. I wonder how he's feeling right now. Imagine he'll be on the chain. So 2 minutes ago, he said 2 minutes or so. Trevor, let's pull up your comment because you're one of the only people I see in the live chat watching live on Facebook. But if you or anybody else watching live on Facebook, thanks for joining us here on Game Day After Dark, Bonfire Sports. Head on over to YouTube. Appreciate the thumbs up and the comments there. The ball was late and underthrown. He hits Dembski 5 yards sooner. All good. You want to take another look at it? Did I lose it? Yeah, I might have lost it. I could bring it back. But, here's a play that I thought was monumental to the result we got tonight. And this was 3:20 remaining, down 2 scores. On 1st and 10, inside Winnipeg territory, Dustin Crum finds a chance to take off and run. Dustin Crum and the RedBlacks aren't going to surprise anybody if he's running with the ball. It's what he does best. But Winnipeg loses contain. And luckily, Evan Holm had another interception tonight, 3rd of the year. Got a little bit shaken up in the game, but stayed in. Big fan of Evan Holm, man. I sure hope he gets a CFL All-Star nod this year. But this Crum run, here's a great look at the defense. There's Willie on the left side and James Vaughters on the right side. Vaughters, I don't know if that's the fault of James Vaughters. I'm not a defensive expert, okay? But that's what it's called when the team loses contain. It means, are you giving him space to come out of the pocket? And Dustin Crum, when you rush 3, rush 4, like the Bombers are here, if I'm Dustin Crum, how do you not take off? It's 1st and 10. Take off. And that led to a Justin Hardy touchdown. That made the score 27-20. Tough moment in that game. Tough moment in the game for Winnipeg here. Real tough moment. This was a quick drive, but a drive that went 11 plays and 91 yards. This throw, incredible. Dart. That is way, way harder than it looks. Beats Dietrich Nichols. But I won't even say that beats Dietrich Nichols. That's just a perfectly placed football. Great play design from the RedBlacks. And getting another look at it here. 4 minutes, that drive. Their first drive was over 7 minutes. This drive was over 4 minutes. Ottawa, when they wanted to, they played that bully ball. They played that bully ball late, and they killed the clock. Part of that drive. Let's take a look at this one. This was some plays of circumstance. Here is Dustin Crum tipped at the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure if this was Willie. I'm not sure if this was... you know what? I see it now.
Jake Thomas.
This was Tony Jones.
What?
Yeah. This was Tony Jones. As I hear a little bird in my ear. Yeah.
That's another one was Jake Thomas. Sorry.
Yeah. I hear a little bird in my ear. Who is it? Who could it be? Who could it be? Let's bring him in fresh from the Madhouse on Matheson. I'll fix up your camera, Schnitzy. Hang tight. Zach Schnitzer, when I pan your camera down, we are going to then see if you are wearing, oh yes, there it is, wearing the chain. Good
yeah!
Bombers come away with a victory tonight. Is there any way you can lower your camera just a touch? I've got like about 1.5 feet above your head. There we go. I'll fix you up.
You can see all our laundry supplies above me. This is the old laundry room.
You look good.
Speaking of laundry, what was with the flags? We got to talk about those PIs. But Darren, I swear to God, if that would have been the second coming or the second crumbing of Dustin Crum and the Crumback 2.0,
coined it.
I would have lost my schmeckle. I would have lost it. My cousin Tanner Schmeckel with an amazing game, but what's the
Jewish kind of slang term for, like a little baby boy?
Oh,
it's not schmeckel. Yeah. Maybe you don't want to say it on air. I understand, but I think people know what I'm talking about. Maybe someone in the live chat can jump in.
Well, when you call someone a schmuck, you're basically
not a schmuck, a baby boy. When he sees the moil.
Oh, the moil. Yeah, and if you
not a schmeckel.
If you do circumcisions online, it's an e-moil.
Yeah.
But anyway,
you know what word I'm talking about.
I do, Darren.
Yeah.
Like, we have to. I mean, can we jump right into it here?
I'm already on it, buddy.
We have to talk about the Sergio Castillo 57-yarder.
Whoa, I thought you wanted to talk PI.
I do want to talk PI, but we have to talk.
Let's talk PI. We will get back into that, but I just went on a rant about that field goal. I just went on a rant.
Just tell me quickly, and then we'll go on. I just want to hear what you had to say.
Well, you mean you weren't listening to me on the drive home?
I was being driven home as usual by my father-in-law, David, and
when you left your phone at home,
we are holding hands and praying that we don't get in a car accident because he likes to drive so fast. It's scary. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm going to call Sandy out after she already gave us a super chat. Not a very good Jewish person, LOL. Au contraire. Au contraire. Good Jew. Isn't that the saying? Jewish people say, he's a good Jew. Good Jew.
He's a good Jew. Yeah. Yeah. A schmeckel is a small penis, which is great. I love that. Yes. Schmeckel.
Is it schmeckel?
Oh, man. It is schmeckel. And because Sandy has done so many nice things for us and because she's such a wonderful person, I'll let that one go.
Yeah.
But this is further evidence, Darren. I know this is what people want to talk about right now after a crazy win.
Here's Tanner
Schmeckel's This is further evidence that Darrin Bauming is Jewish, everyone.
Well, I'm not, but I have spent a lot of time with Jewish families.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. What was the very quick summary of what you were saying?
Well, Schnitzy, I'm not here for you. I'm here for the people. I already went on this rant. It was a terrible decision. In short.
Thank you.
In short.
Thank you.
The worst matchup in football. Enoch Mwamba said it. The worst matchup in football is a field goal team covering a field goal return team. It's the worst matchup in football. And we watched the Khalil Pimpleton return, and it's Tanner Schmeckel and Jake Thomas and Devin Adams and Shane 𝘎𝙤𝙧, and 𝘎𝙤𝙧 might be the only cover guy on the team. You know who one of the first players down the field was? It was the punter.
Oh my God. I mean, okay, I could go on and on about that. I also want to talk about.
But let's talk about those PIs.
Yes,
that's where you came in. You said, let's talk about these penalties, and I pulled it up. So here they are.
And shout out to Patty Rathwell and Jeffrey Bannon and Tara Maslowski, the real brains behind the 1930 crew. Tara Maslowski. We're going to talk about the 1930 crew trip in a bit, guys.
Already done that too.
Okay. Jeez. Sorry, Darren. Hey, Derek's wearing his hat. Nice, Derek. So let's see that. I'm going to actually focus up now, folks. You have to excuse me. Like, as a fan, that was the craziest game. Oh my God.
Skin of their teeth is what I said right off the hop. So this was the pass interference in the first quarter. And I don't see how that.
What was that?
But this was Cam Allen pass interference.
I love that you have the highlights, buddy. It's awesome.
Here it is.
So is it on? Oh, so okay.
Right here.
What?
0-on-0. Braylon Addison. So apparently that is pass interference. What he's doing right there.
Oh my God.
I don't get it, but that's pass interference. There's
that
no
ball
contact
wasn't even
prior
catchable.
to that. Hey?
The ball wasn't even catchable by Addison.
So here's the contact.
Does that play how does that play into it?
The ball right now is here. There, it's in Dru Brown's hands. Okay, he releases it. There's contact, and they called that pass interference.
Wow. Can I ask you something?
I'm going to pull up the other one. I'm going to pull up the other one, but yeah. What do you got?
So if the ball is deemed not catchable,
they can still call pass interference, but that wasn't like a way uncatchable ball. Like, I don't see that as the issue. They saw contact.
Right. But my understanding is if it's not catchable, then they're less likely to call PI. Reg Dunlop with an interesting point here. Why didn't O'Shea challenge it? Patty Rathwell too.
First
Shut
half.
up, Butter Ripple, buddy. I agree. I think O'Shea thought it was too early. And I think it's hard to overturn PIs. But this is the second one here.
This one
I thought,
insane.
What do you think of this one?
Insane how this was called pass interference.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll get more looks at it. Here, just for everybody, watch the Bombers bench. Okay, watch the faces on the Bombers bench.
Yeah.
They're incredulous. It's like my favorite word. Incredulous. Have no idea what's going on. Incredulous. But here's another look. And again, it's Braylon Addison, 0 for the RedBlacks, and Cam Allen, his first CFL start. I know he was number 2 on the depth chart, but the Bombers play a 3-man front, and Cramdy starts at the dime next to Griffin. So Cam Allen is your starting safety.
Play that one again, Darren. That angle. Yeah. So my only thought was Cam Allen might have nudged him a little bit early. There's contact. See there?
Yeah.
There's contact a little bit early. Here's the thing.
But if you're going for the football,
yeah,
this is all I'll say. If you're going for the football, it's not like the receiver has every right to the space above his head. And they called that pass interference. Let the guys play football.
Yeah.
His hands aren't on his hips. Nothing. This is good. Issue, this is called guarding. Yeah. This is what they call it. It's guarding, like in basketball. You can't guard me. Well, Cam Allen was guarding Braylon Addison beautifully.
Yeah.
And because
you're right,
belly,
he's going for the ball.
Yeah, because his belly collides with his torso, they called it pass interference.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. And it's tough because I understand why O'Shea didn't challenge it. It's early in the game. And I think it's really hard. If you've watched enough football, you'll notice this. Unless it is absolutely egregiously wrong, they're not going to overturn those. And then you've lost your challenge. I understand not challenging it, but it's a tough pill to swallow, and that could have been the difference in the game, in a tight game, which shouldn't have been a tight game, and we'll talk about that. But in a tight game like that, Darren, that could have been the difference. We could have looked back if Ottawa won by a field goal or something in overtime. We could have looked back and said, yeah, if they don't call that, I think that was on second down, correct? So Ottawa's off the field. They don't get a field goal.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not good on the CFL. And actually, I don't remember a game this year,
not good
Darren,
on the officials in this game. I'm not going to say on the CFL. I don't think it's a
no. But what I was just
going
to and I was going to qualify that by saying I haven't noticed the officials being a problem this year, to their credit. Maybe I'm forgetting, but I haven't seen the officials make a bunch of egregious calls this year. So I'm not calling out the officials in a general way. I'm just saying those two calls are tough, really tough. And they missed the face mask call, by the way. They missed the face mask call in the first quarter. That was fairly blatant, but you know.
Hey, Schnitzy, you want to hear from head coach Mike O'Shea moments ago?
I do.
Let's hear from
I do.
The man himself. Oh. Well, I don't think I got sound.
Okay. It is fun to just watch coach's body language, though.
Yeah. Here is Zach Schnitzer. Gosh, do I not have... Here we go.
Thinking that on the sideline per se, but it's CFL and it can happen.
Relieved, yeah. I guess it's always mixed feelings after wins, but you know, when you're up 20-3 and they lose a starting quarterback, you're probably feel like you're in control. You're thinking it shouldn't have come down to that.
I mean, I don't think you're really thinking that on the sideline per se, but it's CFL and it can happen. Thought Crum did a good job stepping in for Dru. Offensively, we got to keep the foot on the pedal and score more points.
Was that a called quarterback draw?
No, it was just a match coverage, and we'd thrown the same concept earlier in the game. We got a different coverage against it, and I kind of thought really the only adjustable on that one was Nick, and he got walled and had a halfback over top. So, and Ottawa just kind of runs upfield when they rush, so just had a lane there.
Your receivers seemed to crank it up a notch. It was rugged. They took a lot of hits and they made a lot of plays. Did you sense too that they had something to prove, or what do you see there?
No, they're just out there. Yeah, they did a great job. We got to continue to get better as a unit, but I thought they did a great job. I got to watch and see the hits. Cause usually I'm throwing the ball, I can't really tell, but I know Wheat, a couple of them in there, really stuck his face in there and caught the ball and held on, and fearless as he always is. So, just proud of the unit for getting it done there. I thought we played fairly well early on, but we can't have those lulls there in the middle of the game.
Second straight week, Zach, where your offense moved the ball really well in the first half, struggled at times in the second. Why do you think it is that you guys are maybe not as productive in the second as you are in the first?
I don't know. Lack of execution.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks.
Room's open.
There is quarterback Zach Schnitzer, whose numbers tonight, I guess, will be marked with those two interceptions that he threw. The one late on that deep. What did you think of the deep shot to Dembski, Winnipeg's second last possession that they were picked off?
Right. So at that point, Pimpleton had just tied the game, right? Pimpleton popped. Pimpleton tied the games 27-27. Bombers get the ball. And they go deep. I mean, I didn't necessarily I minded in the first half. Before the end of the first half, there was a play call I hated, but I honestly, I thought it was a good play call and it was well executed, except for the throw. I didn't mind it. They're trying to win the game. I don't mind aggression. Maybe too much aggression I don't like, and we'll talk about that in the first half. But Dembski was open. He was behind coverage, but Zach underthrew him. Was my recollection of that play, Darrin. And I hate to say this, but Zach has been underthrowing guys, not all the time, but underthrowing guys on a fairly consistent basis. Now, it's not always Zach. Maybe he can't step into it because he doesn't have enough time from his O-line. Maybe the receiver runs the wrong depth. But you got to wonder whether there's some arm strength issues, because this isn't the first time we've seen Zach underthrow guys a little bit in the last couple of years. I didn't mind the play call. What did you think?
The way I described it earlier was ballsy. I don't hate it, but ballsy. And they had no problem being ballsy there when they probably should have just been more conservatively confident and ballsy to punt the ball from their own 50 with 1:15 left and get your defense to get a stop. I'm sure Mike O'Shea was asked about this. Somebody already talked about his comments on the radio saying, just for your information, Schnitzy said on the radio that expects his field goal team to cover. But here's the head coach following tonight's game.
Initial thoughts?
We won. I'm not changing the score now, so.
I wanted to ask you about the decision to send Serge out with about a minute left with the field goal.
Yeah, he's good from that distance. Put the game away.
Like trying to put the game away was the.
Yeah, because he's good from that distance.
Well, Jam is good from that distance. Like, did you
Jam was
consider
good.
Punting from that distance, like burying teams deep. Like, did you consider the punt? Did you consider the sneak?
It's way harder to punt that distance than it is to kick the field goal that distance. I think.
I'm going to pause it there for a second.
John Hodge.
I really like that line of questioning or that approach in questioning. Mike O'Shea can be a very tough nut to crack, and we're going to get back to the coach in a second. I promise everybody. But I just wanted to stop it there and highlight the pause Mike O'Shea gave and the expression on his face. Mike O'Shea will never admit defeat. He will never admit mistake. He will always give reason why he made a certain decision and that there's no regret. But this is a tough one. So we'll go back and listen to the coach again. I just wanted to highlight that because I'm somebody that has covered Mike O'Shea for 10 years. And he's a tough nut to crack. And this line of questioning, arguably, to no surprise, may have done that.
It's way harder.
That distance, like, did you
Jam
consider
was good.
Punting from that distance, like burying teams deep. Like, did you consider the punt? Did you consider the sneak?
It's way harder to punt that distance than it is to kick the field goal that distance. I think there's a reason why they always try the field goal instead of punt for the single.
I'm not saying about the single, but just even to bury them within the 15.
Yeah, you could do that.
So the field goal was an immediate decision, easy decision.
Pretty easy decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about Tanner Schmeckel. 290-pounders generally don't block punts. Have you ever seen that before?
Yep. He's got a great get off. So you put him in the spot where he can get off, and he made the play. It's good.
We'll go back to Mike O'Shea in just a second there. I just wanted to get your thoughts, Schnitzy, on the head coach saying, yes, it was an easy decision to make to kick that field goal.
Yeah. Listen, Mike O'Shea has forgotten more about football than I will ever learn in 3 lifetimes if that happens. But if I'm cryogenically frozen even, and downloaded, like in the Matrix, downloaded information about football, I will never. But to my view, Darrin, kicking a 57-yard field goal in that situation, we talked about that you have a bunch of hogs in the middle of the field. If you miss it, it's dangerous, right? You could have gone for the sneak on 3rd and 2. I didn't agree with the sneak on 2nd and 3, by the way, with Chris Streveler, who hasn't, he's been money, but it's not like he's getting these by 5 or 6 yards, right? He barely is getting it. But Darrin, I didn't agree with the 2nd and 3 call. I thought they could have rushed Brady on 2nd and 3, but so Streveler gets stuffed for 1 yard, It's 3rd and 2. The worst thing I think you could do is kick that field goal. I would much rather them punt it or at the very least go for it. Right? If you want to be aggressive and throw an 80-yard bomb to Dembski, then go for it on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1.5. But I don't know if Streveler's the guy to be doing these short yardages. I know he's like, 17 of 19 now or whatever it is, Darrin.
What do you think of this comment from David Rollins? He is not the 2019 Chris
He's
Streveler.
not. He's not. He can't get around the edge. He doesn't have the same speed. I don't think he has the same power in his legs. He had a catastrophic knee injury. But my point is, you need to punt that football. You are playing against a backup quarterback. Now, Dustin Crum availed himself very well tonight. I thought Dustin Crum, facing that adversity and that crowd noise and taking procedure penalties to lead them on that touchdown drive and a field goal drive, I thought Dustin Crum played out of his mind for Dustin Crum. But it's Dustin Crum. Pin him deep, make him go the length of the field to tie the game. Sheehan was kicking the lights out of the football, Darrin. I had it in my notes. You probably saw it. I thought Sheehan had his best game as a Bomber. He had nearly a 43-yard net punting average. That's really freaking good.
But it's harder to punt inside the 50, says Mike O'Shea.
Even if he gives up a single, like worst case scenario, gives up a single.
Even if it's harder, it's the right decision.
Oh my.
You don't do what's easy, you do what's right.
Yeah. That sounds like something from a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
There was literally that line. Dude, you punt the football. You punt it, and at the very least, you go for the sneak to
I'll say this, okay?
Yeah.
I don't think the problem is just Chris Streveler with the Blue Bombers short yardage.
For sure, that's fair. Yeah. That's
right.
A good point.
There's a lot more at play. A lot more. Okay? And if it's not the guy carrying the football, what else is it? Read between the lines. What's DB talking about?
But when I've seen, this is just anecdotal. I haven't studied Terry Wilson's snaps. But for my money, and people in the chat, tell me what you think. Tell us what you think.
Chris Streveler is capable of running the short yardage. I don't think you're suddenly going to turn a 1 yard run into a 3 yard run because it is Terry Wilson versus Chris Streveler. 90%. I will go as far to say 90% of the short yardage package is the O-line.
Yeah. Fair. I just think whenever I've seen Terry Wilson come in on short yardage, whether it's 2nd and short or 3rd and short, when Streveler has started and they need to put Terry Wilson in there a couple times, I think he's looked really good. Now, do I think Terry Wilson should be a starting quarterback in this league? No. But on those short yardage plays, he's got a lot. You remember in the West Final last year, Darrin, where Marcus Sales over pursued him on 3rd and short or 2nd and short, and he ran it to like the 1 yard line. It was like a 48-yard run. Like, Streveler's not doing that anymore. And I'm not saying you have to do that.
Teams are starting to run Wildcat.
Yes, Waiters knows.
Teams are starting to run
Waiters
Wildcat.
Knows. Right, you saw David Mackey doing that in BC, yeah.
Yes, David Mackey, yeah. So some people might not know what Wildcat is. That's essentially using taking your quarterback out of the game and using your running back or your fullback or a ball carrier, a quote unquote skill position player, using your running back as your quarterback, right? That's called the Wildcat.
Wildcat. Yeah. Ronnie Brown, Tony Sperano, Miami Dolphins, baby.
That's right. Yeah. Streveler's too big. Barfly says Streveler's too big of a target, and that makes it harder. Oh gosh, I lost it. Makes it harder to slip through the cracks. Terry Wilson is just as big as Chris Streveler. He is.
Yeah. I like. First of all, I like what Bomber fans said here. I'm interested in your thoughts, folks, and Darrin, because I always like what Bomber fan says. But for what I wanted to say before that was, and now I just forgot. It was a really important point, and I just forgot. But Tico Napoli gave us a super chat.
Yes, that's right.
And
Thanks.
like $10 from Tico Napoli is like $100 because it's in cap lock.
Yes,
right. It's like
true.
$10.
Pyros, I'll read it because, hey, when you give a super chat, you get read on air. Tico Napoli says, wasn't the 2nd and 3 call with Streveler sort of poor going up the middle, almost like they're trying to get the spot for the field goal if shy on first down. Why not quick screen or pitch to Brady? Yeah, like 2nd and 3.
Yeah.
The defense is going to stack the box. I still feel like the wedge package is your best bet. And for those that aren't familiar, the wedge package is your short yardage. It's Chris Streveler coming in and pushing, right? You wedge where you want to go. Yeah.
But
thanks,
I like
Paulie.
what Tico Paulie says there, in that, like, I thought so just to say this, to defend Jason Hogan here, I thought he called a pretty good game, given that he doesn't really have many horses on receiver, Darrin, in the receiver position. But there were a lot of plays I liked, on first down where he established Brady. Now, Brady was getting like 3 yards a carry for most of the game until the end. So Ottawa was stacking it up pretty good. But then he then went into play action, and he got guys in the flat, guys like Clercius and Stearns and Dembski. I have a hard time believing that if Ottawa was stacking the box there, that you couldn't have done play action and hit someone in the flat for 2 yards. Even if it's 2 yards, you're still going to go for it on 3rd and 1, and you're likely going to get it, right? So, or even if you run Brady, he's probably going to be able to get you 3 yards. But yeah, the sneak there, it's interesting.
I don't think we'll get into it, but do want to read this comment from Randall D. What's going on, Randall? Good to see you. Guys, rate crowd noise tonight because the RedBlacks did lots of audibles. Just a 5-second crowd noise report from you, Schnitzy.
Well, what was it? What did they put on the Jumbotron, folks? How many procedures?
What was it as loud as it normally is?
Darrin, that's part of my whole point here. If they got to 147 time count and procedure penalties,
that is not a freaking measure. It's not.
Darrin, it's a measure of crowd noise.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's not a real meter. Sorry.
My point is the crowd was loud enough to disrupt Ottawa at least 2 times in the 4th quarter.
Okay.
Where they took a procedure penalty, right, or a time count. Mm-hmm. The crowd was nuts, man. The crowd was like at the end of the game, and credit the crowd. Like, first of all, they didn't start the wave. They almost did over in, I think, section 115, and I was going to lose it. Yeah. Don't start the wave if it's a close game. Like, oh my God. But anyway, no, the crowd really got into it, especially at the end. And that's why you got to credit Dustin Crum there, Darrin. Right? Ottawa's down 27-13, and the Bombers are laying back a little bit. People might not like the soft coverage, but they're essentially, Jordan Younger is saying, "Hey, Dustin Crum, nickel and dime your way down the football field and see if you can get a touchdown that way, because you're probably not, because you're Dustin Crum, right?" And Dustin Crum did it. Yeah, absolutely, waiters. The crowd did go bonkers after that delay of game.
I like this. Pardon me. Barfly says, is Collaros missing last year's safety blanket, Dru Brown? No. He's missing his true safety blanket in Dalton Schoen.
That is
and for those in the live chat,
well,
Dylan Mitchell makes roughly $120,000 a year. $360,000. Like, I don't even think Dalton Schoen's making that much money. Yeah. 120.
So can I just on the short yardage thing, a Bomber fan says here on the chat, and then we can finish with short yardage because there's so many more things to talk about.
We got to go back to Mike O'Shea. I think we're done with short yardage.
Okay, fine. We're done. We're short on short yardage, or we're long.
Okay, but let's go long on the rest of head coach Mike O'Shea.
Maybe some sputters here and there. Zach was talking about execution.
Question was about the offense.
What did you see from your offense in the first half versus the second half?
Once again, it'd be very unfair of me to comment on execution without watching the film first. Certainly we'd like to generate more points, but, you know, I don't even know how many plays we had in the second half, to tell you the truth. So sometimes it's hard to generate points if you're not staying on the field, whether it's execution. Yeah.
Last one from me, obviously, Dru and Dustin, two very different quarterbacks. How challenging is it for a defense mid-game to maybe make that transition between those two styles?
Yeah, the awareness is there. They understand, and I think 𝘎𝙤𝙤 does a good job of making sure that they know what's coming when that guy pulls the ball down. I don't know how many yards he had rushing. I don't think it was a lot, to tell you the truth.
Hi, Coach. That goal line stand at the first quarter, their first possession in your territory, just talk about the importance of that and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, they had a real long drive there, and for us to stand on our heads and keep them out. And then what I really liked was the offense came out and drove the ball off the doorstep and managed to get, 25 or 30 yards. I don't know where we punted from, but chewed up a bit of clock and got off the doorstep and flipped the field, which is, I thought there were certainly numerous points in the game where we showed a lot of resiliency and took the field in an adverse situation with something that may have just happened and managed to do well.
Yeah, because Birdie was saying that they gave the offense a real shot of energy, knowing that they kept them out of the end zone.
That's the response you want.
Yeah.
You want them to take the field thinking it's a shot of energy, not looking at, oh, we're on the one, right?
Yeah.
And if that's the response, then that's what we're looking for sure.
And last one for me, Adamski in the number 9 overall all-time Blue Bombers history. Just kind of your thoughts on what's allowed him to stay in this league this long and to come up with 5,000 receiving yards.
Yeah, well, he's always one of the best athletes on the field. He always has been. No matter what school you go to or whatever, he's always one of the best athletes on the field. Yeah, and if you are, you get a chance to make plays.
It's probably always mixed feelings after a game like that. Obviously, you get the win, but when you're probably thinking it shouldn't have come down to that when you're up 20-3 at the half. So what are you left feeling with at the end of a game like this? Just relief, or Zach called it relief? How about you?
Yeah, I think we're going to enjoy it. It's a win, you know. I mean, really, like, what are we going to do? Dwell on some plays that we want to have back? That's what tomorrow's for. Yeah.
The missed field goal return. What's going through your mind and heart when you see that happening?
I should be on to what we're doing on kickoff return, what we're doing on offense, and how much time we're going to have left. But there's probably a momentary lapse where I'm like, Jesus, Murphy. But, you know, the bench was awesome. Like, you can hear guys saying, all right, we got time, let's go. Drive it down, get some points.
Yeah, that's got to be hard to do. Some guys said...
No, I was going to say, and I think that regardless of the outcome of the game and all the negativity that's going to probably come out right here, what's most important is the resiliency and the grit that our guys are developing and showing. They're not just learning it now they're actually putting it into action, which is far more important than whether we won by 3 or whether we won by 23. Far more important. Yeah. You can write about that.
Again?
You can write about that.
I will.
Yeah.
So you're thinking there's actually maybe some benefit in...
I just think our guys showed there was numerous occasions, like I said, where they took the field and they had it worked out in their head how they were going to make it work. And they just believed they were going to do it, right?
We'd rather see that for 4 quarters and not have to worry about the end.
Oh, I think it's a long season, and I think we're learning. And we got a lot of young guys that are learning it too. Ed?
Mike? I don't know what Ottawa's final passing numbers were, but what did you think of your secondary? Because there was a couple of changes there.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job. They made some plays. I don't know. Did we give up maybe a couple explosions? I thought if we tackled a little better, we probably limited it a little bit. But they certainly were, especially the first half. I think there was one decent play against us. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have the stats in front of me. But I thought they did pretty damn well.
I know you've got a lot to kind of decompress here, but 5-4 at the halfway mark. What's your sense of what's happening or what's developing with this group?
6-3 sounds better. 4-5 sounds worse. 5-4 sounds like right where we're going to be. And as long as we're growing, as long as we're learning some of the hard lessons, some of those tough lessons that are going to toughen us up down this stretch or for the next game, then let's go.
There's head coach Mike O'Shea, and that was a fascinating exchange with Paul Friesen. Like when telling him, write about that. This is a head coach. This is a head coach in damage control. And I'm not saying about his football team. I'm saying about the media narrative. It's you and me talking about this right now, Schnitzy. It's everybody else. It'll be you and Connor on Monday morning. The reality, I will agree with Mike O'Shea that 5-4 is where they are. And that is the truth. You can't do anything about that. You can't do anything about that except what it is. You can only do something about the next game. And Winnipeg's defense looked better, but I'm not calling the Ottawa RedBlacks offense a world killer, especially when Dustin Crum seemingly looked better than Dru Brown. And the special teams, okay. And the offense, okay. They did enough to win tonight, but there's offense, defense, and special teams. There's talent. There's execution. There's all those things. Now we're starting to maybe talk about the coaching staff and some of the mistakes that they're making in games or in preparing for games.
It's interesting because I don't remember O'Shea making these kinds of suspect calls in the last number of years, Darrin. I'm sure there's been time. Oh, look at that. What a guy.
Again. Thanks again, Paulie. Appreciate you, buddy.
T-Kona, Paulie.
Negativity comes out. Coach seems to have a little pent up anger with media this year. No? Asks T-Kona Paulie, and don't mean to interrupt your thought, but just wanted to get to the super chat. Thank you so much. I don't know. This is the same Mike O'Shea I see when things aren't going well. Winnipeg's sports media contingent is robust. It is the truth. We're a very robust group, and we're going to hold people to account. We're going to ask the difficult questions. You don't get that in every market. So is Mike O'Shea a little bit pent up anger or bent out of shape with the media this year as compared to others? No, he's not. But this is what happens. Whether it's O'Shea or Scott Arneal or Mike Taylor with the Sea Bears or whoever. But in particular, this is the Mike O'Shea you get when things aren't going well.
And I don't
I have
remember
some thoughts on Paul Friesen. I'll get to that in a second.
Okay. All I wanted to say was you saw early in O'Shea's career as the Bombers head coach, some questionable decisions. You look at the playoff games, right? Someone mentioned 2016. I think it was Bomber Fan when the 2016 West semifinal when he trots out Justin Medlock on 3rd and 4 when you had Andrew Harris in his prime and he tries to hit a 62-yarder in a dome. He'd never even attempted, I don't think, a 60-yarder to my knowledge. And then you saw in the West semifinal in 2017, game was tied 10-10, and he goes for a fake punt on his side of the field. Remember that? Kevin Fogg, and it was stuffed.
Kevin Fogg.
And then and Edmonton scores with Michael Riley. He scores a touchdown like a couple plays later, and that was the game. I mean, it was over. So, you saw that early in his career, relying more on sort of gadget plays on special teams, fake field goals, things like that. There was a game in BC, Darrin, when who was our punter? The Dead Air Dome, where our punter, they were sending the heat on him, and he tried to I think it was it Medlock? He tried to throw a pass on their own 20-yard. Like, there was stuff like that. But my point is, we haven't seen stuff like that from O'Shea in a while. But here,
it was like the playoff O'Shea game with Medlock in BC too. That's West semi 2017,
2016, the West semi, and that game still eats away at me. But you haven't seen that with O'Shea, and this year, you look at the first and goal on the 7-yard line where Strevy against Calgary throws that interception to Adrian Green on a terrible decision. You saw against Toronto where we nearly gave that game away, and Collaros throws it in the red zone. Right? Jump ball to Jared Stearns, who kind of had a jump ball today. But
that was a nice play. I'm going to pull that one up. That Stearns touchdown.
Yeah, that was a nice play. But and then you have tonight where in the second quarter, up by 17 points on 2nd and 15. Like, the last thing you want to do is throw an interception in that case. Play for the field goal. You're in Sergio's range. That 3 points nearly killed them at the end. I think that was indefensible, that call.
Which point? Forgive me?
So it was 20-3 late in the second quarter. The Bombers were 2nd and 15 in Sergio range, and Collaros looked like I'd have to see the play. It looks like he threw a corner route and it got picked off. So that's 3 points off the board. When you at that point, Dustin Crum was in. Like, what are you doing? Like, play conservative, go up by 20 points, keep the momentum. So there was that call, which I vehemently disagreed with. And then, of course, there's the 57-yard field goal call at the end. I don't like it. Do I love 𝘎𝙤? Absolutely. Has he been to 5 straight Grey Cups, which is an incredible achievement? Absolutely. Did the guys run through a wall for him? Yes. I'm not sure if he's overcompensating because he doesn't trust the team or what's going on. But those game management decisions, that's not Hogan, that's 𝘎𝙤. Wouldn't you say, Darren, in a large part? Yeah, so 2nd and 14, they're up 20-3 with 25 seconds left. Go back. I want to see that interception if you don't mind. So there's Collaros throwing it deep. Yeah. Looked like there was maybe a miscommunication with Wheatfall and maybe overran his route. I don't know. Mm-hmm. The point is, like, the execution isn't my biggest issue. It's putting your team in that position where you might turn the ball over. Right? Like, the last thing you want to do up 20-3 is turn the ball over. Take the 3 points. 2nd and long. Throw a screen pass. Get 10 of it back.
So, can I play devil's advocate, as I like to do?
Sure.
There's kind of a mentality in football that if you play it safe all the time, you're going to lose football games. Being bold gets rewarded. They say that about life. They say that, what is that saying? Blessed be the bold or something like that. But like, whether it's about life or in football, if you're bold and you take risks, you will ultimately be rewarded. I don't like.
Well, and what does Bruce Arians say, Darren? No risk it, no biscuit, no brisket.
Right. Yeah,
that's a Jewish thing to say. No risk it, no brisket. Yeah. That's what Marv Levy would say, or Mark Trestman. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
There it is. T-Will's got it. So does 𝘎𝙤. Fortune favors the bold.
There you go.
Oh my God. I remember asking Mike O'Shea about fortune once, and he goes, we don't, it's not luck. And I'm like, no, not luck, fortune. Like, you do good things and you're fortunate, right? Like, it's not, I don't know. To me, luck and fortune are different. But anyway, yeah, fortune cookies are cold. I like that. I feel like if you play it safe most of the time and do the right thing all the time, you're not going to win a lot of football games. I mean, if you're the better team, top to bottom, like your quarterback is way better than their quarterback, and your offense is way better than their defense, and your defense is way better than their offense, and your kick returner is the best in the league, and your cover teams are lights out, yeah, you can just play smart football, play clean football, and you'll probably win. I don't think that's the case with this Blue Bombers team. I don't really think it's the case with most teams on any given Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday night, whatever. I think you have to be bold. You have to take risks. They have to be calculated risks. That's why coaches spend, in Mike O'Shea's words, 16 hours a day during the prep week, putting in that work. A lot of people say like, oh, CFL players, they only have to work 4.5 hours a day, and that's in the CBA and all that. Sure. But they do more than that. And the coaches, there's none of that, right? They put in a ridiculous amount of time and hours during the football season, and then they take the break in the off season as they should. But the time they spend looking at the metrics, looking at the analytics, looking at the numbers and the trends, looking at tendencies, the film work, the stats, all of it. Those things are so important to do the work for, so that when a moment in a game happens, you're like, we could really use a play right now. Something that'll flip things around, something that'll put a dagger in their back, something that will give us a boost, that they can execute that risky play and execute it well. That's me playing devil's advocate too, like, well, you shouldn't have been picked. They shouldn't have been shooting downfield. They were trying to, they're up, what'd you say the score was at that point? It was 20-3. Right?
Yeah.
They were trying to go up 23-3, 27-3. And then, it's not a 3-score game at halftime. 3-score game at halftime is nothing. It's really nothing.
I know.
It sounds bad because it's 20-3, but it really ain't that bad.
I understand. And I think you're right, Darrin. I think if you're playing not to lose or you're playing too conservative, you use the phrase all the time. And I will agree. If you're doing that all the time, then you're going to lose. That's maybe Paul Lapalisse in his rookie years as a coach, where they played not to lose, too conservative. But I think you want to be risky. Like, I'm okay throwing a bomb to Dembski in a tie game when he gets single coverage. Absolutely. But there are times to go for the kill shot. And there are times when you don't need to go for the kill shot, particularly when at that point in the game, Dru Brown was out. You're playing against Dustin Crum. You don't need a kill shot. Up 20 points on Dustin Crum, 90% of the time, you're going to win that game.
I almost don't care if it's Dustin Crum or Dru Brown. I don't care who it is.
I do, because Dustin Crum's not going to come back.
I know you do. You just said that. I don't.
Dustin Crum is not going to come back from a 23-3 deficit. I don't think.
Dustin Crum
very, very
found
unlikely.
a way to beat the Calgary Stampeders this year in a crummy weather game. Dustin Crum nearly mounted the Crum back tonight.
No, I think Dustin Crum played well, but Dustin Crum played above Dustin Crum's usual level tonight.
Dustin Crum played a quarter and a half and had almost as many passing yards as Dru Brown, had a better percentage, and he threw a touchdown where Dru Brown didn't.
Darrin, but my point is that Dustin Crum, you could argue, played above average for Dustin Crum.
Fine.
Dustin Crum,
but that's why I'm saying I don't care that it's but that's what I'm saying. I don't care if it's Dustin Crum. I don't care if it's Dru Brown. You're like, against Dustin Crum, things change. That's not how football coaches think. They don't. They're playing a pro football team, and it's 20-3. It's a 3-score game at half. That's not much. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're like, we're up by 17. Let's play it safe. Like, sure, play it safe, but not all the time. You got to take those shots.
Not all the time, Darrin, but it was 2nd and 14.
Yeah, 2nd and 14.
I get it if it's 2nd and 5 and you're like, oh, it's man coverage. Let's make them pay for that. They're loading the box, whatever it is. Yep. But 2nd and 14, you are highly unlikely to convert that. And if you're throwing it long, you're putting the ball at risk. And quite frankly, Collaros hasn't exactly been throwing the lights out this year. He has a lot of picks. But
he's also been throwing the lights out.
Anyway.
But Winnipeg's offense is like last in the league, period.
Yeah.
So guess what? They got to take some risks.
So can we talk about the offense a little bit? I know you probably talked about it at the beginning of the season. Where do you want to go?
Real quickly. real quickly, I just want to mention these because a lot of people in the live chat talking about the Bombers are 5-1 against teams not named Calgary, says Seawalk. Bombers 0-3 against the Stamps, 5-1 against the rest of the league. You know what the rest of the league is, though? All of those teams are under 500. All of them. So Winnipeg is 5-1 against teams under 500. They haven't beat They haven't beat a winning team this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll pull up.
That's a very good point.
I'll pull up the CFL standings while you tee up a little chat on the offense before we get into Walby's Warrior, westward wide to the right, Bonfire Burning Point, the Happy Honker, and we'll hand out our game balls.
Yeah, baby. So the offense coming into this, I thought the offensive struggles were the story of last game's defeat to Calgary. They were up by 17, but they got 62 yards of offense in the third and fourth quarter, and relied on a Sergio Castillo 63-yarder to go ahead in that game. I looked back, and in the last 4 games, the offense has had 1 touchdown drive, right? The only reason they beat Toronto was because they had 2 special teams touchdown and a defensive touchdown. So this offense was really, this offense was really stagnating. And if I can riff for a second, I would look back at Dalton Schoen's injury at the end of the Stampede Bowl. It's not like the offense played great in that game either, Darren. But after that, they were only getting 1 touchdown a game. And Wheatfall disappeared because now teams were able to key in on him. Like, the offense was stagnating. Tonight, did they stagnate? No, they had 3 touchdown drives. That's a marked improvement. This is a team that came in with the least offensive touchdowns in the CFL. Like you said, they're bottom of the league, right? They got 3. Now, a couple of those were maybe a bit shorter fields, right? Good field position.
And they were playing at home against Ottawa.
Yeah, and Ottawa doesn't have a worse defense in the league either. Like, Ottawa has maybe an average defense.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought I will give Hogan credit because he was being lambasted, and his offense scored 3 touchdowns.
Let me push back.
Right?
Brady Oliveira underutilized today. Is that due to the O-line? Is it due to play calling? What have you? Why was the offense successful today? I'm asking you.
You think Brady Oliveira was underutilized?
Brady Oliveira? He had 10 carries.
Yeah. 15 touches.
He averaged 3.5 yards per carry, and he had 5 catches for 29 yards. So he had, 15 touches.
But is he underutilized if he's getting 3 yards a carry? Like, how do you keep running him up the A or B gap?
He had 10 runs in the game. He had 4 catches. He had 14 touches. To me, that's underutilizing Brady Oliveira. He's the reigning MOP. But
I understand that. And
I don't want to get sidetracked. Maybe that's because of the offensive line. Maybe it's because of the play calling. But my point is, it wasn't Brady Oliveira that did it today. So what was it? Was it the quarterback?
I thought, Kolar said a couple of questionable picks, but he also threw some dimes.
You're talking about the offense playing very well today. Yeah. It wasn't because of Brady.
I didn't say they played very well. I said they played better.
Sure did.
What is your point? I'm not sure what
I'm
your
saying
point is.
That 5-10 minutes ago, you're talking about Zach Collaros. You're very focused on his picks, but he was 71% for 300 yards tonight.
Yeah, he threw. 2 things can be true, Darren. Like, he threw a couple of bad picks. He underthrew Dembski on that long ball.
I know, but anytime we talk about Zach Collaros, you're saying he's not playing very well. He's throwing picks.
Dude, he isn't playing very well. That's objective there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did he have some good throws tonight? Yeah. But if you look at the starting quarterbacks in the CFL, Darren, you can't argue that Zach Collaros is having a great season.
No. But he played well tonight. And I thought he played very well last week. I thought he played very well last week until late.
Yeah, well, they had some problems. I mean, there were some issues last week other than Zach Collaros. I'm not saying Zach Collaros didn't have a good game. I thought he had a pretty good game today. I thought the offense
see,
played
I
pretty
got
well.
you to say it. I got you to say it.
Darrin, what are you trying to get me to say? He threw 2 bad picks. He missed on a couple balls.
See the first words out of your mouth. Game. He threw 2 bad picks.
Yeah. Those picks could have cost us the game, dude.
All I'm saying is anytime you talk about Zach Schnitzer, man, he's thrown a lot of picks this year. Fair.
Yeah.
But he's still helping this team win. He's still helping this, like he's not helping them win.
Absolutely.
Like when they win, he's helping them win.
Absolutely. I also thought the receivers today really stepped up. You had 3 receivers over 50 yards.
Yeah.
You had, we'll talk about this later in our awards. Wheatfall took a couple hellacious hits, held on to the ball, had 68 yards. Dembski, 80th game in a row with a catch, goes over 5,000 yards for career. What was it? 9th all time. Is it 9th all time for Bomber receivers? Was that the statistic?
Yeah.
He had an explosion play he had a large of 36, Darrin, as we like to say. Like Jarrett Stearns was in there with 50 yards. I thought the receivers really stepped up, and I thought Zach had a good game. I just think he hasn't been great this year, but has he been good and at times great? In the Edmonton game, he was fantastic. But Edmonton has a terrible defense. Here's my concern with the offense, and this is my last thing I'll say about the offense.
This was a great throw, and an even better play by Ottawa's defender.
Yeah,
you were saying last thing you want to say?
So last thing I want to say, like, I guess the concern for the offense, and I saw that someone say this on the chat. I guess my concern with this offense is T-Will. My concern with this offense is the second half adjustments. So last week you saw in Calgary, they had 62 yards of offense in the second half. Okay. Yeah, Darrin, you're fake arguing just for the sake of arguing. I think he has a point, Darrin.
Who's that?
Anyway, I don't know. Whatever.
Schnitzy,
who's
you
that?
Gotta
the
remember,
you just
some people are watching the podcast. I'll pull that comment up again. David Rollins says, DB, you're fake arguing just for the sake of arguing. Yeah. It's not winning friends or viewers. Absolutely true. Your assessment of whether that's winning viewers or not, or friends, I don't know if I agree with that. Schnitzy, I'm having fun with you. I'm trying to put together an entertaining show. It's good to have fun around the bonfire. That's all we're doing.
But here's the thing. Okay, with the offense.
And that was a very nice throw by Claris that didn't hit. Could have been 350 yards.
Yeah, fair enough.
This week. Fair
enough. The offense last week stagnated in the second half. Okay. But tonight, okay, the offense had 230 run yards in the first 2 quarters. Second half, 131. Not terrible, but a lot less. A lot less. So my concern and the challenge for Hogan going forward, especially if they're keeping Brady to 3 yards, is how does he keep the offense consistent in the second half after the other team punches back, makes adjustments? He needs to get the offense going and make adjustments in the second half. That is a bit of a concern going forward. I thought they were better. And let's put it this way. Maybe the most important drive of the game, Darrin, is at the end of the game in a tie game, right?
Mm-hmm.
They managed to get enough yards, and this was the difference last week. Last week, they didn't have enough yards to kill the clock and have a walk-off field goal from Castillo. They left 1 minute, 1 second on the clock. Well, what did they do tonight? When the chips were down, they had a 28-yard drive that was enough to kick a 47-yard field goal walk-off for the win. Started by Zach, and I thought this was a brilliant play by Zach, and he said in his interview that it wasn't a designed run, but it certainly looked like one, where he runs for 17 yards on first down. That was insane. Like, what did you think of that play?
I was trying to figure out what the word Enolis means.
What? You lost me.
Jeff
Enolis.
Coldwell says DB is like an I don't know what that means. Which play, Schnitzy?
So the game is tied, right?
Yep.
The game is tied, and the Bombers have it with, let's see here. They have it with 18 seconds left on their own 43-yard line. And the first play in that drive, Collaros rushes up the middle for 17 yards to the Ottawa 50. And I just thought it looked so clean. Like it didn't look like it was a wild scramble. It looked like he looked at a couple reads, didn't like it, and took off because he knew he had yards there. And I thought that was an incredible run by Zach Collaros, and it really changed the game. Yeah. So I would love to know whether that was designed. He said it wasn't designed, but yeah. It was pretty good. I mean, and that goes in the Zach Collaros played well column for sure.
Yeah. T. Will hitting the nail on the head. Sarcasm and ball busting plays well with this crowd. It does. People tend to enjoy that stuff. Not trying to call you out, call anybody out here. David, appreciate your opinion. I sure hope you enjoy the show for the other things that we do. But I enjoy busting Chris Walby's balls because, I mean, the first 5 years we worked together on TSN radio, like he would bust my balls constantly and I didn't know how to fight back. I didn't know how to shoot back. Well, now I know how to shoot back. So I give him the gears on the pregame show as we do every week, the day before the game here on Bonfire. And Schnitzy, like, I mean, I love the pushback that we give each other in these post games because it's, you give your sober second thought. I remember you used to do that in years past. And it's, how did you say when you joined the show right off the hop, right? It's like you're still kind of clearing the clouds of arriving at, from the stadium. Like you're in the heat, no pun intended, tonight with the humidity and the kind of stuffiness that the weather has right now. But you're in the heat of the crowd, the madhouse on Matheson. And then, we start looking at the plays and talking about things. And yeah, I mean, I think Zach Collaros played really well tonight.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Well, and maybe I'll agree with you in a couple of days when I rewatch the game. Thanks to Waiters. By the way,
I would never call.
Darrin.
Sorry, just commenting the live chat. I would never call Chris Walby stupid. He's a dear friend of mine. Never a word that would come out of my mouth. He was mistaken, but we always have fun with it. I'm sorry, David. Yeah. Anyway, you were saying.
I don't even.
Let's get into speaking of Chris Walby. Let's get into Walby's Warrior tonight. I got a couple candidates.
Yeah.
Anybody you like?
Yeah. Yes, sir. My Walby's Warrior tonight, Darrin, was a guy that has virtually disappeared after really taking off in the first part of the season. He had 5 catches of over 30 yards, a couple touchdowns, was emerging as a Bombers' deep threat. Oh, yeah, Waiter. I was going to say thanks to Waiters, and I wanted to talk about Twitter Spaces next week that I want to do, but I'll do that later. Waiters is the man. He should also be giving a bit of royalty over his YouTube page because I'm really pumping the tires on it. But Darrin, I thought Carrick Wheatfall, 68 yards on 4 catches. He got absolutely lit up in the first quarter. I don't know if you have that highlight. I didn't tell you to bookmark it, but
do you know?
You guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was first quarter, right before the Stearns 22-yard touchdown.
Gotcha. I got it.
You got it. Look at that. So he gets a 17-yard catch over the middle and gets absolutely destroyed. I don't know if it was Pickett or Santos Knox or who got him, but he got hit by a couple of red-black defenders and somehow holds on to the ball. Look at this. Oh, like just absolutely lit up.
Ooh, great catch.
Ooh, number 5. Santos Knox gets him.
Yeah, there's Javan. Our
Almost
old
looks like
friend.
a headshot from that angle. Yes. He holds on to the ball, and then it's the 22-yard Stearns touchdown on play action. Zach rolling out. Great play.
Yeah, another nice throw from Collaros.
It was a great throw by Collaros.
Yeah.
Especially throwing it up to a 5'8" receiver, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's not usually jump ball territory. But anyway, Wheatfall makes a clutch 17-yard catch. And then the next clutch catch, Darren, this sets up the Streveler touchdown in the second quarter, and it's a 13-yard catch where, again, he gets absolutely blasted.
I got that one too.
And hangs on to the ball. There you go. Look at you.
This was the Dembski, I think this was the Dembski catch and run for 36, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so both of those, that was just a beautiful screen pass. Look at the block by Pat Neufeld. Folks, if you're listening on podcasts, this is the Dembski 37-yard or 36-yard pass.
Get on YouTube.
Screen pass, yeah. Just a beautiful play, and Neufeld just absolutely destroys that Ottawa defender.
I love the
Dembski
cutback.
takes it down to.
I love the cutback from Dembski here after the block. Let's watch it in its organic form. 2nd and 10 from the Ottawa 51. Right there. That cutback. Incredible from Dembski. But there was a Wheatfall catch, I think, after this one.
Yeah. Wheatfall catch that sets him up basically on the goal line. A 13-yard catch. It must be this one because they're
so
on the...
So Keurig Wheatfall is your Wallabies warrior tonight?
Yeah, man. And then in the third quarter, I think it was, there he gets absolutely destroyed. He hangs onto the ball. Number 21, Howell gets him. Howell, I think, got injured later in the game.
And then in the second quarter, he hangs on after taking punishment.
Yeah. And then in the third quarter, he got hit so hard that his helmet popped off. He still hung on to the ball. So I thought for a guy that hasn't done much in the last few games and a stagnating offense, I loved Wheatfall's performance tonight. Those were clutch catches that set up touchdowns, ended up being the difference in the game. And, regardless of whether we think Zach played well or not, those are big time catches for a receiver. And I really liked Wheatfall tonight.
Yeah. Here is when his helmet got popped off.
Oh, he still got, look at you. See, folks, sometimes we argue maybe needlessly, but then other times we work in synchronicity. Look at that. Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Okay. Can I highlight this? Watch the quarterback. No, you know what? Don't watch the quarterback. Watch downfield. It doesn't look like he puts that in a tight window, but that's great awareness by the quarterback to find that receiver in amongst, I don't know, 5 RedBlacks. Like, that's where he hits him. There's the catch. Like, that's pretty open, but he's not going to Dembski over the top. He's not going to Stearns on the far side, the top right of your screen. He's not going to, it looks like Dylan Mitchell has some space on his hitch route or dig route. Makes the harder throw. I told Zeno tonight, anytime a guy gets his helmet popped off, you got to cut that clip. So good.
So the last thing I wanted to say about Wheatfall is that it looked like, I don't know if it was the whole game, Darren, but it looked like Dylan Mitchell took his spot at the boundary receiver, at the X spot.
Yep.
Right? And Wheatfall went into, I'm just looking at the depth chart. Oh no, so the depth chart had Mitchell listed as the slot back, but I think in that play you just showed with Wheatfall, it looked like he was in the middle of the field there, maybe playing slot back. So something to watch as the games go on here, how they utilize Dylan Mitchell and Keurig Wheatfall. But that's my Wallabies warrior.
I like that. Thanks again to Jeffrey Townsend, latest super chat, $21 in honor of number 21, Neon Dion Sanders, one of my favorites when I was a kid. The Calgary Stampeders' newest fan, says Jeffrey Townsend, sporting his Stamps cap today. I would love to see that. And I also wonder if it's SMU, Southern Methodist University. They've got the same logo, the same color scheme even as the Calgary Stampeders. Just saying. I hope it's the Calgary Stampeders. I hope so. But
I'm looking that up right now. Southern Methodist University. That's impressive, Darren. Like that's reaching deep into the bag of tricks there.
Yeah. Timmy Tushu, crush the hockey guys. Well, that's cool.
Oh, yeah, you're
hockey
right.
guys are my buddies. Those are my guys. I'm not trying to crush them. We're just trying to keep the fire lit here on Game Day After Dark.
How do you know the logo of Southern Methodist University, Darren? You're right. If you want to pull that up, it is exactly
this. This is my day job.
This is the Stampeders logo. Oh my God,
one of my favorite
so
documentaries, sports documentaries, is what's it called? It's the ESPN 30 for 30 about the death penalty being Southern Methodist University, SMU. It was like recruiting scandals, and they got hit with all of these sanctions from the NCAA, where it was like 20 years and they couldn't, hand out any scholarships. SMU Mustangs. There you go. Yeah, St. Vital Mustangs wear that as well. Terrence Monsian. Thanks, Monty. I hope I said your last name right, but I'm sure people call you Monty. Yeah, Pony Excess. Is that what it's called, Reg? Death penalty. There you go. Yeah, it was called the death penalty. Yeah, SMU was a college football power in the 70s and 80s, and then it all fell apart.
So it looks like in the 3 Down article with the picture, it looks like he is wearing a Stampeders hat. It is a Stampeders hat.
Okay. Yeah. I wonder. So
I'm not sure why. I don't know. But I gotta throw a wide to the right at Jeffrey Townend, because 21 is also the score by which the Calgary Stampeders beat us twice. So I think you're double dipping there, buddy.
There's the SMU Mustangs.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Darren, who's your Walby's Warrior?
I'm going off the board a little bit with this one. Looking for the highlight that I can play. Really want people to chime into the live chat for your bonfire burning point tonight. Like, tough one tonight. There was a play in the first quarter that during most of the game, I honestly thought could have held for the bonfire burning point. Here we go. I got it. Here it is. I'm giving my Walby's Warrior tonight to an OG on the team. Watch this play as Dru Brown audibles at the line of scrimmage in the volume of a sold-out Princess Auto Stadium. And there's Jake Thomas getting into the backfield. Not technically a tackle for loss, but a tackle for no gain. He's my Walby's Warrior tonight. Yeah. Jake the Snake, baby.
Love it.
Fat boy. He
and he had a knockdown, I believe, tonight, didn't he? Jake Thomas? Yeah, he had a knockdown at the line. Yeah, he had a good game.
Yep. You got a Westwood wide to the right?
Well, yes. I got So don't think I'm disparaging the military folks, because I'm not. And I actually shook one of the military servicemen's hand while he was buying a beer.
Well, that means you can say anything now.
No, that's not.
Sorry.
But so I was with my buddy Fede, and he's really excited about the jet, the flyover, right? And I love those flyovers. Like you're in the crowd and you hear the rumbling of that jet before it hits. And it gives you goosebumps, right? Like it really gets you going. But there were 2 flybys actually, and both times I couldn't see the jet because it didn't fly over the middle of the stadium in the opening. It flew over the side. Couldn't even see the jet. What the heck? But that's not my wide to the right. That was just a kind of a funny point. No, I'm on the west side, Gordo, not the east side. So my wide to the right, I had a note actually. I actually studied here. I prepared. Yeah. Okay, so the two play calls we've referenced, I won't beat this to death. But wide to the right in the first half, 2nd and 14, 23 seconds left. You can kick, take a short gain, kick a safe field goal. I would have played it safe there. I appreciate what you're saying about the kill shot. Not what I would have done. And then, the decision to kick a 57-yard field goal when your punter is having the game of his life, pin him deep with Dustin Crum inside the 10 or the 15 and make them go the length of the field. I just think that's, to me, I'm not a coach, but that's a pretty easy decision for me. I keep thinking, Darrin, about, this is like just a digression about punting. Do you remember the Banjo Bowl in 2012? So that year, the Labor Day Classic, see on the chat, see if you can follow me here, folks. That
was
year,
my first Labor Day game at Taylor Field.
Was it?
Yeah.
52-0. The Bombers get absolutely embarrassed.
I was standing outside the Blue Bombers locker room after that game and could hear Joe Mack screaming at the top of his lungs, as well as help me out, Tim Burke screaming at the top of his lungs because they felt the team gave up.
Yeah. So they get absolutely destroyed, 52-0, and then they come back. This was the old stadium, Banjo Bowl 2012. Bombers, waiters, maybe you remember the details here, but the Bombers were up by like 1, and instead of kicking a field goal because it was in range, was it Jamie Borum or was it Mike Renault punted? He gave up gets the single point. So now they're up by 2. It was listed the worst punt ever. And then the Riders with Sandro DeAngelis go and kick like a 50-yarder for the win. And I remember like being so angry that Mike Renault, I threw my hat down and I hit an old lady's shoe. And I felt terrible. And that's when I decided I need to calm down. That was Tim Burke. That was his second game. Anyway, just talking about punting, right? Like there is a danger of punting, but in that situation, it was like the worst thing ever. But yeah, that's my wide to the right. Those two coaching decisions.
Yeah. So I've been pulling up Dion in the Stamps hat at practice, University of Colorado Buffaloes. Still rocks the gold, hey? From the day he was drafted. Head coach, still rocking the chain. Calgary Stampeders hat. I'm going to maybe do a little bit of research, but I wonder if 𝘎𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙚 Sanders, his son, who was a late pick of the Cleveland Browns, the NFL draft, like really fell, apparently. I wonder if he's on the Stampeders neg list. Maybe it's Toronto or Montreal.
Winnipeg Gordo is saying to read the article. I mean, that's probably a good place to start.
Yeah. Or I could, just go down a rabbit hole of my suspicions.
That's great.
Well, yeah. I mean, I skimmed it and I didn't really see anything.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Mark Vassett, who's on the practice roster, Stampeders rookie. Yeah. That's what it is.
Who's Mark Vassett?
I'm guessing
Did he play for the Buffaloes or something?
Yeah.
Did he play for? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Where are we at here? Happy Hunker?
My Westwood wide to the right.
Oh no, what's your? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. It's that decision I talked about right off the top of the show. And we looked at it. I could pull it up again, but I don't think there's any need. You got to punt. You got to punt with 1:15 left. That's my wide to the right. Before we get into the bonfire burning point, did it? There we go. I don't know if it came through the first time. You got a happy honker, Schnitzy?
I do have a happy honker. And my happy honker is the punter, Jamison Sheehan. He kicked the pigskin, kicked the snot out of that football tonight in a very, very close game that shouldn't have been close, I think. I thought he was unbelievable. That was the best game I've seen Sheehan punt. And, you know, sometimes he'll kick a different type of punt and the fans will decry it because it's not like a nuclear missile that goes way in like a boom, a boomer into the sky, a perfect spiral. But he's doing that on purpose. He's directionally punting. And we had fans in our section, you know, what's he doing? Terrell, he shanked it. No, he kicked like a net of like 45-yard punt that went out of bounds and Pimpleton couldn't even return it. There was a couple of those, Darrin. He had a 47.8-yard average on punts with an average net of 42.2. That is very, very good. He had a long of 53. In a game of field position, I thought Sheehan was really, really good. And when you set up the opposing offense with poor field position, you're going to set yourself up well. So I loved Sheehan's game. And just talking about the special teams for a second, I do want to send my appreciation up for Mike Benson for all he did for the team. And it's tough.
I agree. I love Mike Benson. Great dude.
Yeah, you know him better than I do. Like, I don't even know him, but he just seems like a great dude. And it's tough to see a veteran like that lose his job. Albeit, you could say it's fair. LaRue is, 12 years younger than him and did an admirable job when Benson was hurt. But I hope Benson gets picked up by someone else. That's all I wanted to say.
I will give my happy honker to the Blue Bombers on their 10th straight sellout. The Blue Bombers fans on their 10th straight sellout. The Banjo Bowl is Winnipeg's next home game. Of course, Winnipeg is in Montreal next week as I pull up the schedule to show you all here on YouTube. And then in Regina for the Labor Day Classic. There it is right there. So this game is sold out, which means they will have 11 straight sellouts. Incredible. Barnes echoes Waiters and myself. 10th straight sellout with the next game already sold out. 11 straight. Incredible. My bonfire burning point, Schnitzy. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to play this one first. This was a huge play in the first quarter from the RedBlacks offense. Okay. 1st and 10 from their own 40, and Dru Brown just throws an absolute laser to Justin Hardy, and Dexter Lawson Jr. kind of gets tied up going for the ball, not in position to take Hardy down, and they flip the field. This was, I lost it here. Hang on a second. This was a 40-yard catch. Okay. And Ottawa was threatening. But then, where did this go? I'm having a technical difficulty here. Here we go.
Where are we all?
Here we go. 3 shots from the goal line. And Tony Jones.
Yeah.
As you will see on the video game angle, as I like to call it. There he is. 33, Tony Jones, Winnipeg's middle linebacker, with a huge play. And this absolutely swung the momentum in this game. And I know it's the first quarter. Huge. I know it's a 0-0 game. but this was such a monster play for the entire Blue Bomber team, the defense. Great job from that group there. There's Kyrie Wilson and Tony Jones on the right side of your screen. Jones on the edge.
Gets off his block,
sheds the blocker. Daniel Adetoboye. Huge play. That's my Bonfire burning point, and I will give that man a game ball for the Bonfire burning point. I'll give him one of my game balls. You want to shoot off your game balls there, Schnitzy?
Well, I will.
As
I just
Canadian
want
Advantage absolutely skewers you.
Strebler hater. No way. I love Strebby. Oh yes, Holmes interception. Yeah, that was
pull that one up.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, Darrin, I think psychologically for that defense, that was absolutely massive, because coming into this game, we were all talking about how Dru Brown had shredded the Argos defense down 21 to the tune of 373 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
You have Jamal Parker
quarters
out.
They were down 22 to 1 at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah. And then you have coming into the game Dru Brown, who loves to sling the ball. They've got a really good group of receivers there with guys like Justin Hardy and Eugene Lewis and Pimpleton and White. I'm missing and Addison. And everyone was talking about our banged up secondary, how Kelly had got roasted, and how Vavel was going to start at corner for the first time, and how Terrell Bonds went down. So, Vavel was starting for Bonds, and then Dexter Lawson, who got burnt by a 78-yard touchdown in Calgary, right? And sure enough, on Ottawa's drive right there, which is their first drive or one of their first drives, Darrin, Lawson gets beat on a 40-yard pass. And I actually thought Lawson was in decent position, but it was a perfectly thrown ball. Maybe he went for the ball there. So they give up that huge explosive play, and you're thinking, here, like, Dru Brown is going to slice and dice us for 500 yards tonight. Like, we're in trouble. And they get it to the 1, and they stuff them 3 times. Like, that is an incredible resilience from a defense, and making a statement and showing themselves and then us fans and media, we're going to come to play here. We're going to maybe give up some yards, but we're going to defend every blade of grass. And I think that's a great burning point. Honestly, I'm going to go for the low-hanging fruit here. Like, originally my burning point in this game was when we went up 27-10 with the Brady Oliveira. Shout out to Brady Oliveira, his first touchdown of the game. Remember last year he was doing that chicken dance, of the season. Sorry, my bad. Remember last year he wasn't getting into the end zone, and then when he finally did, they did that chicken dance. Or a chicken coop or whatever. I thought they were going to do that again.
Chicken box.
Yeah, shout out to Brady. Chicken box, yeah. So Brady, there's my boy Schmeckel. If you're listening on YouTube, Darren's playing Schmeckel's sack. Schmeckel's sack! He also blocked a punt. Love Schmeckel. We'll get to him in a moment, Darrin.
Give him a game
Andy
ball.
Johnson echoing that. Schmeckel made some big plays today. I just thought that that goal line stand by the defense was huge, and I think it's a good one. Mine is low hanging fruit. It was originally going to be the the Oliveira touchdown to go up 27-10, but then Ottawa comes back into the game, ties it up on a Pimpleton, 117-yard missed field goal return touchdown.
Yeah.
And Collaros throws a pick, right? And then Ottawa goes 2 and out. So the defense holds Ottawa. Great job by the defense. Again, they got beat for a lot of yards, but they stiffened up when they needed to. And then Collaros tie game on, I think the Bomber, 43-yard line. Yeah, Winnipeg 43-yard line. 17-yard run, which would ultimately, with a Dembski catch for 11 yards, next play, would set up the game winner. And I just thought, that's the second time Collaros has change the game in a tie game late. If you remember when Edmonton came to town, Darren, it was tied 23-23, and Collaros was on second down, on 2nd and 9, I think it was. He was dead to rights, and he ran in that crazy touchdown. Like, it's just an underrated part of Collaros's game that he can take off and run. So
yep.
I just thought that was phenomenal from Collaros, and of course sets up the walk-off. So that's my bonfire burning point.
I want to, I'm going to put myself, I don't do this often when I'm with you, Schnitzy, but I'm going to put myself on solo screen and say this to Bombers Nation, okay, as we kind of wrap up the show here. If the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are going to make noise this year, and it being a host year for the 112th Grey Cup here in Winnipeg, if they're going to make some noise, if they're going to play their best football, if they are going to win in the playoffs, and it's the CFL, it's the crazy football league, any team can win the Grey Cup. This Blue Bombers team can win the Grey Cup. If that's going to happen, it is going to happen with Zach Collaros as their quarterback. Period. Just needed to get that off my chest, Schnitzy, because a lot of people saying that he's not the guy he used to be. I think he is fully capable of still playing at a very, very high level and leading this team to a championship.
Well said. And just to put my cards on the table, I agree. I think he can. Like, he is capable. Absolutely, he's capable. Yeah, Waiter's saying, wait till we get Ontario back and shown. Yeah, Ontario Wilson would be amazing. I just, all I'm saying is we don't have to beat this to death, but I just, yeah, he could be. You're at practice, you would know. I don't know how high Collaros' ceiling is anymore. I don't think it's as high, just on the last 2 years. But can he play at a very high level and win a Grey Cup for the Bombers? Absolutely he can. Absolutely, Darren. I think that's very well said. You're absolutely right. He can.
When Peyton Manning won a Grey Cup, or when Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos, was he the same Peyton Manning that won a Super Bowl with the Indianapolis Colts? Absolutely not. Yeah. Tom Brady with the Bucks? Maybe to a lesser extent, a lesser degree, but not the same quarterback he was winning a Super Bowl with, well, winning a bunch of Super Bowls with the Patriots. Tyson's with me. Well, I don't know if I'd go to that extent. I don't know if I'd fight the Zach shit talkers, the Collaros.
Tyson D was
Tyson says.
Section 141. He made an appearance on the Jumbotron. Big zoom in on Tyson D there.
Yeah.
Great job.
Peyton couldn't throw the ball more than 30 yards in that Super Bowl, says Waiters. If we're drawing a comparison here between that and Collaros, it's not a direct comparison, but it is similar in the sense that Collaros is a leader. Collaros can make the throws. Collaros is smart and experienced and battle-tested and championship caliber. He is a championship caliber quarterback. There is no way in the world the Blue Bombers do not play a healthy Zach Collaros. It ain't happening, folks. It ain't happening. Winnipeg can win the Grey Cup this year. They are capable. I don't think there needs to be a huge airlift. Could they use some help on the back end? Yeah. Like get Jamal Parker back from the 1-game injured list. That would help. Terrell Bonds, unfortunately, and due to your great work, Schnitzy, and sharing his Instagram post on Twitter, because it was an Instagram story, so it went away after 24 hours. But you shared on Twitter that Terrell Bonds was showing that he had surgery and his season is over. But they've cut Marquise Bridges. Bonds is done for the year. Holm is having one of his most productive years ever. Dietrich Nichols is Dietrich Nichols. I think, the emergence of Cam Allen and Dexter Lawson Jr. and those guys getting more comfortable, that will all help. But the linebacking core is very good. The D line is very good. I believe the system is very good. I do. But the offense needs to play a lot better. The offensive line needs to play a lot better. Claris needs to be more, accurate and just less turnover prone than he has been. And all of those things are possible.
Yep.
All of those things are possible.
Well said.
Yeah. David
Well
Rollins,
said.
appreciate the apology. I didn't call him stupid. Why would I do that? Encourage everybody out there to check out the pregame show. Myself, Chris Walby, always do it live, 3 p.m., 3:10, the day before the game. So we didn't do it today. We did it yesterday. This coming week with the Bombers in Montreal on Thursday, August 21st, we will do it Wednesday at 3:10 p.m., coming out of WST. And then Schnitzy, of course, you and I, as we always do, we will fire up Game Day After Dark here on Bonfire Sports.
Yeah.
Thursday night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well said about Zach. Well said.
Appreciate all the views and the while you're there, David, hit those thumbs up while you're on those videos. I didn't call him stupid. I called him nuts. Are you nuts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you nuts?
Well, just for those that missed it, well, go check it out. It's at 26:55. There you go. I'm not going to give it away.
Thank you, David.
Yeah. Why did I call Chris Walby nuts? Go check it out. 26:55 mark. Yeah, short week for Montreal. Regular week for Winnipeg from a Friday to a Thursday. But then it's Labor Day, baby.
Yeah.
1930 crew.
Yeah.
Schnitzy, tell people what they're going to get.
Okay, so folks, there are a couple spots left this year for our epic Labor Day adventure. There's going to be 2 buses with the 1930 crew, the Huss bus with Hustler from Winnipeg Sports Talk, and then the Schnitzbaum bus from the Bonfire folks, and that will be the Schnitzbaum bus going. So 2 buses. It's just an epic experience. Last year, I think I was 5 Jello shots and a few butter ripple shots and a mimosa in by like 9 a.m. on the bus. It was just unbelievable. Jeffrey Bannon, Tara Maslowski, Pat Rathwell, they just do a phenomenal job. This is for the fans. There's swag, there's giveaways, there's prizes. There's a VIP dinner at the Four Seasons on the Saturday night before we hit Crave Kitchen and Bar. Then we're doing a brunch on the Sunday. Then we're, getting ready for the game, going to Wayne's World. It's just the people are top notch. The price is great. If we can, get just a couple more people, we can fill this thing up. And I just
fill up both buses.
I can't. Yeah, I can't say enough about the 1930 crew.
Awesome.
I just love what Jeffrey and Pat and Tara do. It's just they treat you right. You feel like a VIP. If you want to go to Labor Day, this is the way to do it. You don't have to worry about driving. You don't have to worry about where you're going to stay. You don't have to worry about getting to the game. You don't even have to worry about getting drinks, so you can get some extra ones on the Sunday. It's just it's a trip I'll never forget. Last year, Darrin, and it is now circled on my Schnitzer family calendar every year. This is what I'm doing. This is my fun boys trip in quotes, because there's lots of women who come on the trip too. So if you're a woman and you're like, I don't know if I want to go on a football trip, there's tons of women on this trip. They're great fans. It's just phenomenal. And if you haven't been to Labor Day or you've never done a tour, this is the way to go, Darrin. So shout out to our friends at the 1930 crew.
You're telling me, buddy. You're telling me.
Tyson D, who cares about your 1-9 record in Regina? Nobody cares. Come on the trip.
Yeah, and then
I just got
go back longer than 10 games. Is it still 10%? I don't think so. I'll say this. The best part about the 1930 crew is it's easy. You get on the bus and you don't got to worry about anything. They drop you off they're going to take you to the restaurants. They're going to drop you off at the hotel. They're going to say, see you at 10 a.m. tomorrow. See you at 2 p.m. tomorrow. See you after the game. You get on the bus, and the rest is easy cruising, baby. Whether it's on the way to Regina, in the Queen City, on game day, after the game, the next day coming home, you get on the bus, and all you got to worry about is having a great time with great people. Go check them out at the 1930 Crew on social media and the1930crew.com. Schnitzy, final thoughts from you as we wrap up the show. The Bombers come away with a victory. They're 5-4. And, well, I don't know if Davis Alexander will be quarterbacking the Alouettes next week, but it'll be an interesting prep week coming out of this very close game and a walk-off win for Sergio Castillo.
I'm getting gelded here. Like you're cutting off my balls, my game balls.
Oh, Jesus. You got game balls yet? It's very important that you get your game balls.
Tyson D, you got to bring one of the WSTers or another person on the Bonfire chat. Come on. Yeah, game balls. I'm actually giving a few out. I have to give one to Tanner Schmeckel because his name is Tanner Schmeckel and he's must be a distant relative of mine. Good Canadian D tackle, Darrin. He had a sack, which I think he got crumb on like the 1 yard line. He was nearly a safety. He blocked a punt. I loved Schmeckel's game tonight. I got to give a game ball to Tony Jones. Stuffs crumb on third down. That was a massive play of the game. He had 2 tackles for a loss, 11 tackles. Just an incredible game from Tony Jones. And I think he's really coming on, Darrin. I think you are starting to see the emergence of a really, really solid middle linebacker for the Bombers. I'll give a shout out to Ethan Ball. He had a couple of nice special team tackles, although he did have the no yards penalty. And then I want to give
you want to give one to your dentist. You want to give one to your real estate agent, the guy who cuts your grass. You want to give one to your beautiful wife, Maya. Hey. You want to your uncle Morty.
Morty. Tuesdays with Morty. Is that what you know?
I was just trying to think of like an old Jewish guy name.
Yeah, Morty is pretty good.
Mortimer.
Yeah. Dembski, everybody. 6 catches, 128 yards. A large of 36 yards, buddy. Yak yards. He had 64 yards after the catch. And then he had 3 huge second down conversions. I think when Dembski is going, I think the offense goes. I really do.
100%. 100%.
Dembski is the straw that stirs the drink, if I
He's
try
the
to
drink
say that
that stirs the straw.
And one more thing, folks, before we get to Darren's game balls, I do want to give myself a shout out for it. Oh, did you? Who was it?
Colares? Oh, Jake Thomas.
I thought you said Chris Strevler.
No, Thomas was my Walby's Warrior. Schmeckel was my game ball.
Oh, Schmeckel.
Yeah.
That's a speckle of a game ball. It's just,
and I gave one to Tony. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not giving myself a shout out, but I'm giving myself a plug, Darrin, and I hope you join on Tuesday. Thanks to our dear friend Waiters27. If he has the video ready by then, check out his YouTube page. He cuts a clip, and he doesn't cut clips. He downloads the entire CFL game, every game of the week, 3 or 4 games. He edits out all the commercials. He puts them on YouTube for our viewing pleasure. And we had a Twitter Spaces rewatch of not this last week, but the week before. It was fun. We had Josh Fry Sam from the Winnipeg Free Press, the Bombers beat reporter, pop on. We talked football. We had a good chat. So it's a fun thing to do. I'm thinking we'll do it on Tuesday around 8:00. Thanks to Waiters, and we'll have fun breaking down the game a few days later, folks. I think it should be fun. So yeah, Catch
at Zach Schnitzer 48 on Twitter, X.
I guess yes, on X, Twitter at Zach Schnitzer 48.
Your Twitter handle is in the video description below for people.
There you go.
That want that rewatch on Tuesday at 8:00.
Yeah, baby.
Yes, sir. Okay, now I'm going to ask you as we hit the 2-hour, 10-minute mark of Game Day After Dark, and I really have to go to the bathroom. Neon Dream said I look tired. Thanks for putting this together. My pleasure putting this together. Love this show. Big thanks to Silver Heights Restaurant. Check them out in the heart of sunny St. James. More information on that coming soon. I'm not tired. I definitely have to go to the bathroom though.
Okay.
So I need you to rhyme something with schmeckle, and then you'll give your Japanese sign off.
Well, tonight, folks, the Bombers gave us a lot of reasons to heckle, but they came through with Tanner Schmeckle. Sayonara, everybody.